Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. A few of you have asked me if I can do some 3-inch 20 gauge turkey loads, and yeah, I sure can. Happy to do it. Loading turkey loads is something I've found myself enjoying lately. I don't know why. You guys have probably heard me say this a million times. I'm not a huge fan of 20 gauge. I do get it has its place, and I do respect it. It is a good gauge, but I prefer 16 gauge over it. The 16 can do everything the 20 gauge can do, and in my opinion, it's just my opinion, a little bit better. For instance, and no, this is not absolute. The 3-inch 20 gauge shell, typically from the factory, turkey loads are 1 1/8 and 1 1/4 ounces, and those are standard 2 3/4 inch 16 gauge loads. Now, factory loadings do not offer a 1 1/4 ounce 16 gauge load anymore, but Federal stopped making that recently, as in the last 5 years. So it's probably not dead and gone forever. It's probably just a production halt on that loading. But back to the point, those 3-inch 1 1/8 and 1 1/4 lead loads, the turkey loads, the velocity on those is not all that impressive. And again, there are exceptions to that, but they're always under or slightly over 1200 FPS, whereas an 1 1/8 16 gauge load, I've seen them all the way up to 1450 FPS. The 1 1/4 loads, you can push those to 1330 FPS with long shot powder. Now, I don't think factory 1 1/4 16 gauge ever went past, like, I think it was 1260 FPS, but you know, that's more than the 1185 or the 1200 the 3-inch 20 gauge is typically offered in. In my opinion, again, the 16 gauge is just a little bit better. And of course, 16 gauge is a little bit bigger bore. You can fit double-aught or 34 cal even, double-aught plus, stacked by 2s in a 16 gauge shell. Straight wall, not these tapered original, these aren't double A's, but compression formed hulls. These are tapered, won't fit in there, nor will it fit in the Remington game load, the black hull, but a Federal, a Shaddad, Rio, Fiocchi, all those hulls, you can get up to 34 caliber buckshot stacked by 2s. The biggest size you can get in 20 gauge is 31 cal stacked by 2s. And with lead, you can fit up to 1 3/4 in a 2 3/4 inch 16 gauge shell. In a 3-inch 20, the most that you can fit is 1 5/8. But enough about my personal bias. How about we load this up here? This is a brand new primed 3-inch Fiocchi 20 gauge hull. You can use once fired. Pretty much any 3-inch 20 gauge shell will work here. They're all going to be straight wall unless I don't know something. If I'm wrong about that, you guys please correct me, but I've never seen a compression formed or tapered, for that matter, 3-inch 20 gauge shell. I believe they're all straight wall. So data should be interchangeable. Just watch for fiber base wads, or I believe Remington has 2 different base wad heights for a few of their shells, so just watch for that. That's not absolute, again. Okay, so we're doing a number 4 lead shot load here with the Ballistic Products BP 2092 Quasar wad. Ballistic Products did send me these. It's been 2-3 months ago, but thank you for sending these. They also sent some 16 gauge wads too. Highly appreciative of the guys at Ballistic Products. We need 29 grains of Hodgdon Little Gun. Yes, this is a 410 powder, but it's letting me load up to 3 ounces in 10 gauge. It's not just for 410 and 28 gauge. It has uses in all gauges if you like heavy payloads past 28 gauge. There's 28. Should be 29 right there. Yep, 29. Again, that's 29 grains of Hodgdon Little Gun. Now the wad, like I said, is the BP 2092. Don't need to do anything to it except for you guys can see here, this is a stitched wad like the Remington SPS wads are, meaning you can just do this right here. I'm breaking the first 2 stitches. This is a 4-petal wad. Breaking the first 2 stitches all the way around. You guys will see what I'm talking about in just a second. Front-facing iPhone cameras aren't great for detail here, but what we have now is a 4-petal half-cut wad. See here? There you go. Black shirt. 4-pedal and half cut. Go ahead and set that in your hole. I need my wad tamper to get that in there. Alright. Facebook.com Gary.D.Caskey. He sells stuff like this, wad tampers. He has hull trimming kits, wad trimming kits, all that good stuff in 12, 10, 16, and 20 gauge. Get with him, and I'm sure he'll have something you'll like. Gary, in my opinion, is the go-to guy for reloading tools. Inside the wad, we need a little bit of filler for a couple reasons. This ain't going to be enough, but I just tore off a little bit. We need about an 1/8 inch of fiber cushion wad, or felt, or cork, whatever you have, just to bring up stack height and to make it a non-hard launch. Prevent setback, all that good stuff. Lower pressure a little bit. Again, wad tamper, smash that down. And that looks just like this. I have 1.5 ounces of this number 4 lead shot. Josh gave me this, a bag of it. I know it's kind of hard to see again, but it is number 4 shot. It is high antimony number 4 shot. Dump that in there, and we are exactly where we need to be for the crimp. Yes, a little bit of this is outside the wad, but that is absolutely fine. 90% of it, 95% of it is inside the wad. If you're using number 6 shot, like I have down here, all of the shot will be inside the wad. So, as I always say, buffer is optional. It will help with patterns at extended ranges. You won't notice a huge difference inside, say, 20, 25 yards, but at 30 plus yards, buffer will help a lot. So, happened to grab original buffer today. I have the number 47, ITX, and original right here. I use them all three interchangeably, but I do prefer the ITX buffer because it looks the coolest. That's the only reason I have. This is just plain white. Wow, that's crazy. There you go. This is just plain white. The mixed number 47 and ITX buffer have a salt and pepper look to it. The ITX buffer has shiny little flecks in it too. Looks like glass. I'm just adding 1 scoop of the Lee 2.2 cc dipper here. This is actually 1.47 ounces of lead payload weight. This is going to bring it up to 1.5 ounces. That's why I'm calling it a 1.5 ounce load here, because it is a 1.5 ounce load. You just need to tamp the buffer in until it's flush with the top row of pellets, and it is. Now we are ready to crimp. You can do a few things here. If you don't want your buffer leaking, I'm just using, well, you'll see in a second, but a Tyvek overshot card here. They're very, very, very thin. They don't, you know, take up any stack height in there. They just help keep buffer in. Or you could use stuff like a little piece of paper towel just right on top of this if you're worried about buffer leak. But ready for a pre-crimp. I don't need to hold this press. Oops. I accidentally went with an 8-point here. That's fine. Normally I like 6-point crimps on my new shells, but oh well. Again, I don't need to hold this thing. It's not this worn out wobbly press. This thing's pretty much rock solid. Just muscle memory. And here's how it looks. We do have a good crimp on it. It is nice and deep set, but we have a little bit of a hole in the center. That tells me I did not go heavy enough with the pre-crimp. And that's because I'm standing at this press sideways. It's kind of hard to, you know, judge how much pressure I need to put on it. Hold on. White balance is a little bit out in the camera. There we go. Anyway, it's hard to judge how much pressure I need to put on the press because, again, standing at it sideways. Normally, I would be standing like this right on along with it, but I think that obscures your guys' vision, and that's the whole point of these videos, so can't do that. So anyway, there's a couple things you can do here, and that's, you know, take a pair of pliers or a small screwdriver, open the crimp back up, or just take some clear nail polish and do this. It's good to go. Now, here in 5 minutes or so, you might need to apply a second coat, but one usually gets the job done. Well, guys, hope you enjoyed watching that one. I know I enjoyed making it. Again, loading turkey shells is something I found myself enjoying quite a lot lately. Don't know why. It's just therapeutic. That's all this is. Little word of caution though, sometimes Little Gun has trouble working in really cold weather, like 40 degrees and below. So just keep note of that. But anyway, guys, we want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you got any questions or comments, leave it in the comment section below. We will get back to you. If you want to, go check out our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month. Every penny we get goes right back into the channel. You get early access to content, sometimes several weeks early. A link to that will be in the description below. We also have an Instagram. It's at The Shotgun Scientists. It'll also be in the link in the description below. And we have a Rumble, where we do things we can't really do here on YouTube, such as socket slugs, black powder tutorials, slug hand loading, reloading videos, stuff like that. More to come. But until next time, you guys take it easy. We'll see you the next one.